So we've talked about you want multiple decks. We've talked about how this works. Again, this is really high level. If you want to learn more about sign and symbol, you want to join me for the spiritual mentorship. And yes. And the last thing we're going to talk about today is how to ask your cards questions. Actually, we're going to talk about too, how do you read the cards? So one of the things that I like to do, and you've seen me do it if you've taken any of the online classes. I'm setting this, I pulled this for myself earlier and I haven't really looked deeply into it. So I'm going to set this aside for myself for later. That basically you take the cards, you shuffle them with your question, right, to get your energy in. This is one way. I learned this from one of my teachers. I've had 3 really profound teachers in my life, 3 women. And I've learned something, like I said, amazing from each of them. So one of my teachers taught me how to read the cards. I don't read them like you might learn about if you get the regular tarot, the Celtic cross. I find those readings to be way too complicated. 1 or 3 cards for me works just fine. But if you are drawn to that, please do it. Please do it. There's different constellations in this book and different ways of configuring the cards. Sometimes at my birthday, I do she has a big wheel. I do that for myself. But in general, for everyday reading, I choose 3 cards. So how do you ask questions and how do you cast the cards? You never ask yes or no questions, all right? You just, because you're not going to get a yes or no answer from the inner self necessarily. If you ask in an open-ended way, what do I need to know about this situation? What do I need to know about this situation? When I'm working with the Voyager deck and I'm working on customers, it's what do I need to know to have this customer, buy my products, as an example? What do I need to know? What do I need to know to have a better relationship with this person? It is amazing. With my Voyager deck in particular, when I ask that question about customers, I will often get cards that are spot on. I'll give you an example. I was asking that question because I had been in a sales process with this customer, and I come from a place of service when I'm selling. And so it just didn't seem to be moving along. And so I said, what do I need to know about this situation and how can I have a win? I want to win, right? You're manifesting. It's not like, well, whatever happens is for my highest good. No, yes, on the same, but you're also abdicating a lot of your personal responsibility and helping to facilitate things happening for yourself. So as a spiritual practitioner, we don't always want to say, whatever happens, happens. There is a specific result that I want. And I'm here to tell you, there's nothing wrong with wanting a specific result, right? You're going to bake a cake. You're going to follow a recipe to make sure, or hope, you're going to follow the recipe so that cake tastes delicious. Right? You are looking for a specific result. Now, you might not get that result. The cake might be lopsided. I've baked a lot of lopsided cakes, as an example. But you are wanting a specific result, okay? And Spirit's saying we're learning on this journey. So let's say going with the cake is lopsided. You're going to backtrack and try and figure out what you did that didn't help that process. So we're always co-creating. We're always co-creating with Spirit. So my result, the result that I wanted from working with this customer was I wanted a long-term profitable relationship for both of us. That's really what I wanted. I wanted them to use our services, as an example. And I was feeling frustrated. So, and I was really kind of wondering if I should just walk away from this opportunity. And so my card said, I pulled a card, and I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head, but it was about being patient and nurturing. So it must have been the Empress card, but it was about nurturing. And so I did that. I took an extra couple of steps to really nurture along. Now, here's the interesting thing. The partners that I work with were a little frustrated, because it was taking a long time. We have a long sales cycle. But I knew that if I was nurturing the opportunity and nurturing their questions, it opened my mind to, I haven't really answered all of their questions actually. And then we won the business. I know, it's exciting. So it can help you with these cards can help me with the mundane. These help me with the bigger questions. So you never ask yes or no questions. It's, what do I need to know about this situation? What do I need to do in order to improve this situation? Okay, so ask an open-ended question. Try not to ask a yes or no question, because you'll get confusing answers. The other thing that Spirit wants you to know is that ask once, okay? Don't ask the same question over and over and over again, because then you're really going to get gobbledygook. Ask once, and whatever card you pull is the right answer. Okay, whatever card you pull is the right answer. So how do you pull the cards then? When you are thinking of your question, you have it in your mind, you shuffle the cards and put your energy in the cards. You spread them out and you run your hand. You have to decide beforehand if you're going to choose 1 or 3 cards, but since we're beginning, choose 1 card, and you run your hand over until you feel heat, until you feel a tingling, until you feel like it wants to stop. So again, we'll work on this. If you're in the spiritual mentorship program, we'll work on this together. But that's how you do it. You pull the card, you look at it, right? So we're going to pull a card. I'm going to pull this one. And you look at it. And before you read what it says in the book, sit with the card. What is your initial impression of it? One of my favorite things to do, especially when I'm working with the Thoth deck, is what image jumps out at me first, right? So here is the 10 of Swords. But there's so much. What really, that pierced heart in the center really stands out to me. So sometimes it's not the whole card, but maybe there's just a part of the card that's telling you something very specific. And this actually reminds me, as I'm looking at this card in particular, it reminds me of the Sacred Heart of Christ, right? That's what that reminds me of. So that's beautiful. And then you're going to have your journal and you're going to write down your initial impression. And if you feel like you need to, you can read whatever it says in the book. There's usually books that come with these, and then you can read what's in the book. And if you don't understand it right away consciously, you will. Because remember, you're learning to trust your intuition. You're learning about sign and symbol. Yeah, you're learning about sign and symbol, and you're learning about what particular symbols mean to you. So I have one card in the Voyager deck that every time I pull it, I'm like, oh. It's like, oh man, all right, hold on to your butt, something like that. Hold on to yourself. So anyway, you will learn to do that. And like I said, this is a lifetime study. So that is our high-level introduction. I know I can go on and on and on about this. There's so much that you can do and that you can connect with by working with the tarot and the oracle cards. And I just want to say this one thing. The reason why I'm doing this is because both my daughter and my sister asked me to. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. And have a very happy new year. And again, if you feel guided, please go to myjoycode.com, read about the spiritual mentorship. It's all about being magical. And if you're interested, if it moves you, if you feel guided to apply, please do. All right, my beautiful friend. Bye.